minute here, we're going to bring up the three award winners from the McGraw Prize for Education, which was announced last night. And so if Anant and Alberto and Sakena could come up, I will introduce them, and then they're going to be put into a very difficult situation. They each gave speeches last night of about 20 minutes or so on a 9-minute clock. So we're going to ask them one quick question. So Sakena Yacoobi from Afghanistan has won the prize, the McGraw Education Prize, which we are working with McGraw-Hill Education for all of her work in Afghanistan as an unbelievable education leader, innovator, fearless fighter for the future of education across a very complex setting. She even told some stories about how to convince the Taliban how to behave, which you were able to do.
Thank you.
And Alberto Carvalho, who is the superintendent of the Miami-Dade public school system with more than, with hundreds of thousands of students. Unbelievable performance. Some of the top high schools just came out in the media just this week. And he took this school district over when it was what you would perceive to be the standard underperforming urban school district, and now it's one of the highest performing school districts, the highest performing school district of any major metropolitan area in the United States. So Alberto, K through 12. And Anant Agarwal, who is the CEO of edX and a professor at MIT, who basically has launched one of the most significant enterprises on the planet to figure out how to engage the core of the faculty that I've been talking about with everyone that can gain access to the core of that faculty through every tool that human beings can bring to bear. So Anant won the award for higher education. Anant. So, you guys can sit down. So I'm going to ask each of you one question. And you see that clock right there that's ticking down. 10 minutes, 9 seconds. That's the total amount of time that we have for this. And so I'm going to ask you one question and just short answer. And if we have a little time left, I have another quick lightning round question. So Sakena, you've been in the field in very complicated situations. You have taken on fearlessly the education of children, girls and women in particular, and all of the other things that you've done in a war zone, in a society being racked by conflict, all the things that you faced. So what are the kinds of innovations that you wish you had?
Thank you very much, Dr. Agarwal. I really appreciate this question. I really think that what is my desire for the role of education in the future? I really think that innovation is the key issue for it, and innovation in a way that you really challenge the students, that students come up with an idea or with creativity. And that is, I was so happy that you talk about this online educational program, because in a country like Afghanistan, we don't have the means of financial, and also we are in poverty and we are in conflict. And try to set up a university to be just as such, it is very, very hard. So this way of trying to go into on internet and online like kind of a hands-on activity, I think that is the way that a future generation will learn better, and I think it's promote critical thinking and it's promote creativity. And I really look for Afghanistan, especially the way that right now we have the methodology set up, that we are using a different method, students' relationship, parents' relationship, community relationship, honestly and trust from the community, getting the community to be involved. As you said it, that working, collaborating together, working together, I think that is the way that educational system is going to be. I am like you, a positive individual. Yes, I have been through war. Yes, I am still through the conflict. Still, our country is very poor. But I really believe that education is something that we are all look up to it, but a special kind of education, very creative education, and very innovative education. And that will change the life of all the nation around, and I believe in that.
Okay,
Thank you.
So Alberto, you have brought transformative performance changes to a very complex educational social construct, unbelievable diversity in your student body. You've gotten high school graduation rates now approaching 80%. You've got greatly increased college going rates across family incomes. You've got lots of things that are happening, and you know, you're in Florida, where, you know, it's now 20 million plus people. It's the size of, you know, many countries, and you're leading this fantastic, high-achieving, urban, complex school district. I'm sure you've used innovation after innovation after innovation, and last night you talked about, you know, basically empowering your faculty, empowering families, and so forth. But from this kind of crowd of innovators and venture capitalists and others who are trying to find a way to build the best mousetrap, the better tool, the better way to impact things, what are the things that you wish you had, that you can dream about, that you don't have?
Thanks for the question. Congratulations on the phenomenal leadership at ASU. I'm Sakena's #1 fan, by the way, and if you're not, you should look her up. Look, I remember going back to 2008, really inheriting a system that was bankrupt at many levels, and I wish I had then some of the tools that we have today. But even the tools of today aren't sufficient to address some of the issues that you detailed in your presentation. The scalability of the necessary success for our nation, considering the global landscape that surrounds us, is a serious one that we need to take into account. So here's what I would actually challenge America, both public and private sector, the innovators, the entrepreneurs. We concentrate a great deal of attention on graduation performance, but we forget to recognize that probably the most important factor that will lead to higher graduation levels is the early investment and attention paid to early childhood education. I don't think technology has descended down to that level, to that interest, from birth to pre-kindergarten. What are the interventions and preventions that we as a nation, that the private sector is really paying attention to guarantee school readiness, not by 3rd grade, not by 9th grade, or guaranteed post-secondary placement by 12th grade, but the very first time the child enters the school. Secondly, perhaps a better understanding and a better evolution from the point we are at now, which is this dynamic conversation, technology versus teaching. We need to wrap our hands and our minds around the fact that it cannot be one or the other. It's a both-and proposition. That technology is the value-add proposition that provides equity across the board for all students, period. It is the way to personalize, to develop a learning plan for every child, regardless of ability or disability, regardless of socioeconomic position in their reality. Technology, without it, you can't achieve it. Obviously, human capital, the passion it brings, needs to be capitalized as well. Education is a social, interactive art form, and that cannot be discounted. And then lastly, I think that we need to pay a bit of attention to the fact that 5, 10, 15 years from now, there will be a new reality of education. And that reality of education is going to be ushered in, not necessarily by us, by actually the kids who we are teaching today. And what kind of adult do we want? I want an adult that is creative, that thinks in complex ways, that is understanding, that is passionate, that is compassionate, that is global, that is accepting. And that cannot be done in the construct of a one-size-fits-all, 180 days of schooling every single year, 7 hours and 20 minutes. One-size-fits-all is dead, period. One-size-fits-none is the new reality. And you cannot personalize education to that level without blending perfectly technology and human capital through fantastic, inspired, and inspirational teachers.
So just as a quick sidebar, we have found an idea in a science fiction novel written by Neil Stephenson 20 years ago called, he called it The Young Lady's Primer, which is an old English concept. And so it's a technology platform that attaches to the child as soon as they can function with their hands. And so age 1 or 2, this technology then ultimately learns the psychology and the learning profile of that individual human, and then interacts with that individual human, and then ultimately becomes this device that is, in her case, her teacher. So 20 years ago, not a single component of that idea was technologically feasible. And today, about half of the technological components are feasible and half are not. We have 50 students building that half right now as a team. So they're working on the Primer project to see what step we can take an idea out of a science fiction novel as a concept and make it work. So they might be done a couple years from now, but so Anant, you've got students in every country on the planet. I assume that means North Korea also. And so you've got thousands of courses and faculty members that you're working with. You are implementing this idea that I was talking about, which was this way to go to everyone. You've got great universities that you're working with all over the planet. You've got all these things. It's complicated, it's hard, it's rough. What are the things that you wish you had? And I don't know that MIT computer science professors wish for anything because they seem to be able to do anything. What do you wish you had that you don't have? What do we need that you don't have to make this work?
Well, as I grew up in a small town in Bangalore, I had the extraordinarily good fortune to run into my teacher, J.L. Saldana, who in the small town, nobody went to big-name universities and so on. And he thought I could get in, and he worked with me privately and helped me with math and so on. And wouldn't it be cool if every kid in the world would have access to
a mentor,
a great mentor, a great teacher, a great education? And certainly, that's what I wish for the world. And certainly, for my own career, for my own rest of my life, I'm dedicating what we are doing at edX and myself to trying to provide access to education to everybody around the world. And what I'm really excited about and what I really wish for is that I believe we can get there. The MOOC hype from 4 years ago has died down, but I'm more bullish than ever today that we can actually increase access to education for everybody. And I'm also more convinced than ever that technology has to play a key role. I cannot see any other way of doing it in terms of how we can amplify or force multiply a teacher to make great teachers available to every student in the world. Now, what I wish I really had, and we're seeing some of that, is we cannot just do this by using technology and increasing access. We also need radical innovation along with our partner universities who offer their courses on edX, and you can take them for free. Michael Crow talked about Global Freshman Academy and how we have to fundamentally rethink of the structure of the university and our alliance. I'll give you another example, the MicroMasters that we launched with MIT. Both edX and MIT, ASU were all nonprofits. And the idea of the MicroMasters to increase access is that you can take a modular piece of content. It's about 1/4 to 1/2 of a master's credential. You can take it completely digitally, online. It's modular. You can learn for free. All the assessments, videos, exercises are all available for free. So we can really target the entire demographic. If you pass, you get a credential called a MicroMasters, and for under $1,000. And then if you get admission into MIT, they will give you credit towards half a master's degree, and you can finish the master's in half the time at half the price. So we really need to combine innovation with this access. And that is what I really seek, is that universities work with us, and we continue innovating as we expand this access.
Thank you. So I'd like to thank the panel, but I'd also like to thank the McGraw family for maintaining this prize in education and for making it a part of the ASU GSV summit here. And so it's a fantastic opportunity for us to find these individuals which exemplify that which we are attempting to achieve. We heard fantastic ideas. I mean, we need individualized learning. We need a tutor or a mentor for every student. If we can find a way to do that, then that would be fantastic. And we need to be able to operate in any environment across any set of complexities. And so you all have your work cut out for you, so thank you.
May I just, on behalf of our colleagues, say what a great, I agree with you, Mr. President, what a great time in America, regardless of the political rhetoric that plays out this doom and gloom. there is great hope in our country, and to see on this stage today 3 foreign-born individuals representing all areas of education tells me that America is absolutely headed in the right direction.
Thank you.
Thank you.